Hi, this is Jazzy from Myers Education and Event Center. Today we're going to make a book cover. Has a little pocket, hide candy in, and book. Alright, so let's get started. The first step we're going to do is to iron on the stabilizer to the fabrics. I've done a couple ahead of time, and then we're just going to add this. This is a soft back with a fusible, so we are going to fuse that one together. Alright, next part. You have cut white strips, different lengths and different widths. Sorry, different widths, not different lengths, forgive me. All 6 inches, and then you've got different colors. The instructions say red, red's boring. So I've done a variety. I've pre-sewn most of these done. And now this is what you'll do. You will have either 50 weight cotton thread in, or you could use a 40 weight. You put right sides together. You're going to use your 1/4 inch foot, and we shall begin. All right. Once you have that, you're going to press to the dark side. Okay. Next step. You'll need a zipper. And you'll need the piece, I believe it's 1 3/4 inches wide, that you've already sewn together. And the 7 by 12 inch that you've already fused to that soft back. The next thing you'll do is first change your foot from the 1/4 inch to your zipper foot. You want it on the left side, so the needle is on the left. Next thing you'll do is we take our zipper, and we're doing right side facing up. You want to center it left to right, and then you'll take one of your, I believe it's the 1 3/4 inch fabrics that you've already sewn together, and that goes on top with the right side facing the right side of the zipper. Okay. You can pin or not pin. I'm not going to pin. Alright. Let me hold this together and we'll stitch it down. Now, I'm finger pressing right now, but now I'm going to press this. So the first strip, so I've got the front of the zipper, and the first strip, and I'm on the back side, so I folded it this way. I'm going to go press this. Okay. So now, let's get all these other pieces. It's different widths. Now, I will top stitch the zipper down later. I'm going to do a top stitch on this, but I'm not going to do it now because I still have white thread in and I don't want to have to deal with that. Change your foot again to your 1/4 inch foot. Alright. Now, I'm going to do them in rainbow color because I'm weird, but you can do them in any order you want, remembering that the 2 inch wide piece is the very last one to go on. Right sides together. Now, if you notice, all of these are longer. Well, it's kind of hard to see that. All of these, they're pretty long. What we want you to do is stagger this. Does that make sense? So we'll stagger it. So this way when we press it open, it'll be different height. We'll do a 1/4 inch, so right sides together. We need to do a 1/4 inch. And press it open. And continue until you have them all finished. So there we have it. So now, two things you're going to change. One is the foot. You want to go to your N foot, your monogramming foot. Or another one is called an open toe foot. You also want to change your thread. I've been using white 40 weight poly. I'm going to change that to cotton. This is 50 weight cotton. And the reason I chose this one is because it's variegated and it kind of matches all the colors. Instructions tell you to use an embroidery thread. I just like the colors. Alright, now it tells you in the instructions to use like a rickrack design. It's like a double zigzag. You can use that particular design or any other decorative stitch you choose. Let's do something different. On the Presto 2, I'm choosing number 44. That looks like a rickrack, kind of a weird looking zigzag thing. So that's what we're going to use. And I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. So what I want you to do is, this one's it looks like a thick zigzag. So I'm going to do that for these, rest of them, and I'll be right back. I've stitched it across. We're all done. This is not stitched down here, but that's okay. So the next thing we're going to do is take two of the 2x12s that we have left. One has the soft on it. That's going to be the back, and then you have another one. So the instructions, this is how we're going to put the zipper on. So I have to. I'm going to line up the zipper. Now it's hard to see because I've got layers of fabric. So you sandwich the two together. And while I was away, I changed to a purple thread, because this is where, after I stitch the zipper on, I will top stitch. And then I'm also back to my zipper foot. Again, needles on the left side. And let's line this up and we'll stitch this down. After I change it to the right stitch. Alright. And then we press. Alright, now the instructions do not tell you to stitch the zipper down, but we're going to stitch the zipper down because we don't want the zipper edges to get caught. So we're going to do something very simple, nothing fancy, just going to stitch and top stitch that zipper side down. Okay. Little crooked, but that's okay. All right, so now I need to trim it down. Okay, so here we are at the cut table. Now it wants us to cut, so this will be 10.5 inches, and then you're looking at 8 this way. Now, be mindful that you move the zipper down, because if you don't, you're going to cut the zipper pull off. So I'm going to flip it so I can see the back side. And the first thing I'm going to do is just trim off, whoops. Trim off the edge. And let's do 10.5. So when you're finished, remember not to close the zipper all the way because the zipper pull will fly off. All right, so now we have it cut up to the size we need. All right, let's go back to the machine. So now you need to take your pocket piece and your lining, and this piece is 10.5 by 8. Right side facing up. You want to lie this down on top so it lines up nice and... I'm just going to pin it so it doesn't move. Now, in the instructions it tells you to make these. You have to cut 2, I forgot the size, but it's for the flaps. When I first made it, these flaps are much too wide in my opinion, so what I did was just take one of these, cut it where the fold was, and then I refolded them, so now they're much shorter, so it's about half of what it was. Okay, so instead of the long, I think it was 6-inch, we have more like 3 inches, which is a lot easier to put on a book. Alright, so now we are going to stitch 1 down. I'm going to put the raw edge of your folded piece to the raw edge on your zipper side. Actually, you can do it either side, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, take your zipper foot off and go back to your all-purpose thread, but in this case I'm using just white. We're also going to change the foot back from the zipper foot to the 1/4 inch. Also changing my bobbin back to white. So now I'm going to stitch this down with a 1/4 inch foot. And press. Alright, once you've got that, you can put that aside. We need to change to a quilting foot. You can change to embroidery thread if you choose. I left it white. Okay, so what we're doing is taking the piece that has the stabilizer on the back, the soft stabilizer, and what it wants you to do is draw lines or just stitch lines 1 inch apart. I've done most of them. I just started in the middle, went across, and then if you look really close you can see that there's lines all the way across. So all I have to do is 2 lines left. Now the stitch that I'm using on the Presto is a serpentine. It looks like 3 little lines across and it goes all the way down. Kind of weird looking, but it's a great stitch. And when you use it on regular thread, you can use it as a top stitch. It's very thick. So we are going to finish these last 2. So now we still have these lines showing. So I used a friction pen, and they're great pens. They come in different colors. I happen to just grab a black one. I like them because you can draw on your fabrics and then take it away with heat. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so take this off. Alright, once you have your walking foot off, you want to put on, go back to your straight stitch, and then you want to put on the 1/4 inch foot. Okay, so now that other one that you had folded previously for the flap, you want to attach that. And press again. Alright. Once you have your quilted back with the flap attached and your pocket, remember your pocket lining is on. It's not attached yet, but it's on. It's attached through the flap. That's why I have it pinned. Okay. Now, with right sides together, we're going to take the other end, or the other side, excuse me, of your pocket and line it up with the edge of your quilted piece. Alright, press it again. Okay. So here's your front without this, and your pocket flaps and your back. So now you're going to take one last piece. You have a large piece. It's your 10.5 by 15 lining. Wants you to stitch 1/4 inch hem. You just want to stitch these down. So I'm going to press them first. All right. And stitch that down. So, you want to take your book cover, put it on top. I'd still leave the zipper away. Fold the flaps towards the zipper, and then you take that hemmed lining piece and you want to line it up. And it's going to be a little smaller than your book, the outer part of it. Okay? I'm gonna put a couple of pins so it's a little stable. Alright. And then now, all you're going to do is stitch down each raw edge where it's not been stitched. And when you flip it over, make sure you've caught everything so it doesn't fall apart, and then do the other side. Take the pins out. Alright, so now you want to turn it right side out. Then you can clip your corners a little. Flip the flaps over so they are now on the inside instead of the outside. Put your favorite book. Slide in. And slide in. Now I have peat fabric all over it, and oops, that wasn't good. Alright, now I can close my zipper. And there you have it. You've got your zipper so you can have a pocket. You can hide stuff in it like candy. And there you have it. And the book's upside down because I put it in wrong. But it doesn't matter. So, alright. So, I think it's National Book Lovers Day. So, read a good book. And thanks for joining us.